Just 3 days out from the Super Bowl. Have we been talking about it at all
No,
this week?
not really, actually.
No, we have been a lot. Chiefs, Eagles, whatever. We're more into it for the food, am I right?
Exactly.
Rachel Perrin from Kowalski's is back. I feel like I always ask you to come for Super Bowl. You're
good
so
at
good
snacks.
at it, though.
And you
I'm
deliver
good at
every
snacks.
single time.
You deliver every time. And when you told me what you were making today, I was like, yep.
Well, you know, I love anything that you can dip. I know you love a dip.
Finger
Oh, of
foods.
So
course.
finger foods. So taquitos kind of for me cover a bunch of bases because they're like Mexican food, but they're like chips and dip, but they're better than nachos. It's like the
It's not
fillings.
as messy.
That's the thing. Tacos are two-handed food I mean, if you want to keep it all from falling out, you got to use both hands. And I think
Right.
for a party, you want things you can just with one
You
hand.
don't want
One
people
hand.
spilling out
I
the
don't-
end on your couch.
Right.
Exactly.
And if you have a beer, you want to have the taquito on
Exactly.
one hand, the beer in the other. and
Exactly.
Back and forth.
So they cover a lot of bases for me, you know. But besides the fact they're crispy and delicious, and like I said, you can dip them. So
I love this.
We're gonna show you how to make some taquitos this morning. And I thought because there's two teams playing that are from some fun food cities, we'd make taquitos filled with fillings that represent their cities.
I like this. On
So-
theme, on
on
brand.
theme.
Love
So we are
it.
going to make, I'm going to have you start on making the chicken filling. We're going to do a Kansas
ahead,
City
Jason.
barbecue chicken filling. So what I've got here for you is a
Because
little
he's a
bit
big
of
Kansas City fan.
Oh, the biggest. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, that relationship. Oh my
Exactly.
God.
He's
It warms
being
my heart.
It's beautiful.
He's,
So sarcastic. All right, anyway.
Okay, a little bit of barbecue sauce in there, and you can put as much or as little as you want in there. You want enough for it to kind of hold
Is this
together.
a spicy or sweet? Oh,
It's a
And- oh, look
Kansas
at-
City style, so it's got a little bit more
little bit of
sweetness
plastic
to it.
lid. That's,
It'll be all good.
Okay.
this is why he's practicing.
So just
It's
use
fine.
your judgment. Put in as much as you think it needs to hold it together, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can always dunk more later, but you just need enough. And then if you want to, Jason, when you get there, grab a handful of cheese there. If you want, you can use the tongs. And then just mix that all together. We're going to make it a nice homogeneous mixture that we can use to fill our taquitos. I'm going to make the Philly style one. So what I've got here is some lightly smoked pulled beef. This is beef chuck that's
And
been
you can
smoked.
it's
It's pre-cooked.
pre-cooked.
We
That's
actually
so
sell
nice.
this both chicken, beef, and pork. So if you don't like beef, you can get any flavor of meat lightly smoked in the meat department. But I'm going to use that, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of veg that I cooked up. So I've got, you know, Philly cheesesteak,
Sauteed.
mushrooms, onions, little bell peppers in there.
Ooh.
I'll let you stir that together, Alicia.
Okay.
And if you want to, I'm using a Monterey Jack for this one, something a little bit
Yum.
more mild and creamy.
Okay, I'm putting
So
more-
you mix those together.
Getting it more
Putting more
saucy
barbecue
over there.
sauce.
I
I'm
like a
gonna-
lot of cheese.
I like that you
'cause-
have, look at that judgment you're using over there.
Well,
That's great.
I'm pouring until I can hear my mom whispering somewhere saying, stop.
That's enough. That's enough.
Stop
It's good.
Yes.
You
I-
do want it to hold
You
together.
know what? Do we need to save this for any reason?
No, go
Okay,
for
I'm
it.
sorry.
Oh,
Like-
wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah. What is
You
this?
know what?
What
I'm
is-
sorry. Hold on. Let me.
It's the Super Bowl.
It
We
needs to be
gotta
cheesy.
That's
everything
true.
needs to be like so cheesy.
Nice.
we go.
And then I did put a
Okay.
little salt and pepper on the vegetables, obviously, when I sauteed them. But it's just
Okay.
chop them up so that they don't, you know, they're not too big, but also
You don't
not
want
so
to be
small that
pulling
they're
the
falling
pepper.
out.
That
Yeah.
when I'm eating sandwiches or Phillies.
Yeah, that's
you
the
gotta have
worst.
small.
To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I did run a knife through both the chicken and the beef as well too, because you do. You want it to be nice
Yeah.
and small so that when you roll it up into the taquito, it's going to stay in there. So let's talk about the tortillas themselves and rolling them up. I'm gonna
Okay.
have you both give
That's
it a try.
always so hard.
So
rolling
let's talk
tortillas.
about tortilla shells. I'm using white corn tortillas. You can use white or yellow corn. And if you prefer using flour, you can. It's just not going to have that same traditional crispy texture that you get from a taquito and that same corny flavor that we really love. I'm going to also mention about heating them up before you use them.
Right.
Because I'm going to have you try,
they're kinda
both of you,
rough at first.
try and roll one up on one of these here. Yeah.
Without sauce or
With, well,
meat.
with whatever. You can just
Okay, I don't want
see-
to waste the meat, but yes, it's tough.
It's going to crack. It's going to
cracking.
break. Look at poor Jason.
Oh,
If you do end up with some that crack and break, I want to mention that I know these are kind of inexpensive, but cut them into bits and then throw them in your air fryer and make them into chips.
There you
so
go.
you can still snack on them. So don't worry, but don't use one that's. Oh,
We think, yeah, your mic's falling. That's okay. You can keep
my
talking.
mic is falling.
It's
Okay,
down your top.
Great. Well, that's wonderful. I will just
Camera, look away.
Look away. Just keep zooming
Here
in
we
on
are.
that. There we go.
back on target here.
We're
So
getting
this is
there.
why we warm them, Jason.
Yes.
So this is why we warm them, Jason. And I want you to warm them until they're pretty hot. I mean, I don't want you to burn your fingers, but I do want you to feel like
look at that.
they are
Shaking like a
very
Polaroid.
flexible.
That's nice.
Yeah, you want
steamy.
nice and soft, nice and
So
pliable.
we're just doing one at a time.
And then you're just going to do one at a time. Speaking of one at a time, I do like to warm my tortillas in a skillet like this as I'm filling them, because that way I can put a couple in, fill them, put a couple in, fill them. If you want to use your microwave, you guys have heated tortillas in a microwave before, just
Yeah.
wrap them in a little bit of paper toweling,
Little
throw them
moisture.
into the microwave for
Put a little
you know,
water on the paper towel, or do you not
a little
do that?
damp paper towel is nice to kind of keep them moist. Otherwise, you can throw them in the oven in some foil.
Look at us going ahead. Sorry, we kind of just were like,
No, this is
still.
great. So we're going to show you how to roll them up. Now, I want to say, don't fill them too full, Jason,
this too
because
much?
you're going to stress the tortilla a little
how's
bit.
that?
You probably will be okay.
Okay.
And then I just want you to roll it kind of tightly, really pull it
We
over
don't
the
tuck
filling.
in the edges, right? No,
Nope,
okay.
don't tuck in the edges. Just fill it.
I was a former sandwich artist, so, you know.
And you want to pull it all the way over your
wraps.
filling, Jason, all the way over the filling. And
All
then
the way over the filling. All the way over the filling.
Yeah.
How's that?
pretty good. And then what I want you to
Look
do,
at that.
I usually make
Beautiful.
a few at a time, and then I'll just leave them kind of sitting seam side down. If you're feeling nervous that they're going to come apart in your air fryer, you can obviously stick a toothpick in them if
Oh.
you want to. But I find that they sit pretty nicely just like that. So
Right.
this will be okay. Then we give them a little spritz.
You spray right on there, or you spray your air fryer?
I
Or
like to
both?
spray. I like to spray here because I don't want to get my air fryer all disgusting, and I don't want it to be too oily and
Oh,
greasy.
see,
in
I
there.
always do, and it is oily and greasy.
Well, and I
Disgusting.
also feel like it's
That's
harder
why.
to clean, and sometimes that stuff gets stuck on there easier. So for me, I do it here, but you know, the most important thing is that they get a little bit of a spritz, so that they're gonna brown for you, and you want to make sure you get the bottoms a little bit as well too.
Does it matter the type of spray? Should it be an olive oil spray?
It
a
doesn't
canola
matter
spray?
too much
Avocado oil.
what kind of spray you use. It will give a flavor if you use an avocado or like some sort of flavored oil. I'm using a canola because again, it's really neutral. You're not going to taste it, but I've done them with olive oil. It's fine. Jason, I'm going to have you grab the air fryer basket over there. Depending on your air fryer, you can put up to maybe like eight tortillas in here or 8 taquitos in here at a time. But
great.
the key is that you just don't want them to be too overloaded, but they can. I don't know if you can see this. They can be touching. So they can touch on the sides a
Oh,
little
that's
bit. As a
good.
matter of fact, I feel like that's actually better for making sure that they don't open up when they're in the air fryer, because sometimes, I'll let you throw that right over there on the edge.
Okay.
Sometimes when they're in there with the air flowing around in the air fryer, they can get a little bit blown around and the tortillas will open up. So
Gotcha.
here we go. We've got a few that we've
Nice.
just cooked, and you can see these have been in the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 4 minutes.
Oh, real quick.
And then I do check them. It depends on your air fryer as to how much more time they might need. After 4, they might need to be turned, or maybe just a little bit more spritz, maybe another minute or 3 minutes before they get this
Sometimes
nice
you're just
dark
getting the insides
golden.
warm and getting it crunchy on the outside.
Yeah,
Getting
because
the
it's already
cheese
cooked
melted.
meat. Yeah.
Get that cheese melted, get it nice and warm, and then we can talk about dippies with them, right? Because we talked about dipping. So now
yes.
you've got your chips filled with your
Okay, I
lovely
want to grab
filling.
one. What,
And then
what should I dip it in?
What I love for the Philly beef ones, which are what these ones are here, is this queso blanco. This is a signature item for Kowalski's, and I don't like to come
It's
on here and sell
pre-made.
stuff, but it comes in a container in the deli, and if you like queso, this is the way to go. I like it for the Philly cheesesteak one because it's got peppers and onions already in it.
Stir
that's beautiful.
action.
So it's got that same
You
kind of
put
flavor
this
profile.
in like a small little crock pot.
You could
Oh,
put it in a
John's
crock
lingering.
pot.
Get over here, John
Uh-oh.
Ziegler.
We have lingerers.
Who doesn't love queso? Here we go.
I'm looking how you make this.
Oh, wow.
And I also love with the Kansas City style ones like a buttermilk ranch dressing, or if you're
these are the
really a
ones I'm
saucy
eating?
person, you can put a little bit more sauce out there. And
That's
if you
so
fill them
dangerous.
with
Oh,
regular
that looks
fillings,
nice. What is this?
it's a queso
Queso.
blanco. So you buy that, just heat it up in the microwave. That stuff's delish.
So good.
Isn't it good?
I really
Very
want to double dip, but I can't.
You dip the other end in.
I'll dip the other
There you
butt.
go. Dip
Yeah,
your
okay.
other end. That doesn't count then.
Wow, that's so yummy.
And you're right
it's
about
not
the
very
queso.
messy.
I love the peppers
You can,
and all the onions and vegetables.
you can put the queso like on your own little plate.
One-handed.
Dip,
Look
dip,
at how
dip.
not messy
amazing.
that was. That was
By the way.
beautiful.
By the way, you absolutely killed it. I gotta go outside, so I'm gonna freeze when I'm out here eating. I don't know.
Beef and cheese, veggies, what can be bad? This is delicious. And if you do regular fillings like, taco meat, if you do like ground beef filling, if you have kids that want something a little bit more mild and simple, you can dip it in salsa, dip it in guacamole, whatever your kids like.
I feel like is that ranch there?
The ranch is with the buffalo chicken ones here,
yeah.
but you can try one of those too
That's
if you
what I
want
was
to try the
thinking,
chicken
yeah.
one.
Ooh, buffalo chicken
I
one?
just like the
I love that.
creamy, kind of like herby, salty, sweet ranch with the
It's so
sweet,
good.
and tangy barbecue sauce.
I think ranch
they
is
pair really
great
well
with
together.
everything. You can put everything with ranch.
Dip anything in ranch.
Yeah.
Yum.
Absolutely.
I love that. And so the guacamole you can buy pre-made.
Obviously.
Because I've been waiting for my avocados to ripen. They're still pretty hard, and I'm like, I got 3 days.
Well, you'll probably be okay. But I
Okay.
do think that that's the secret too with a good party is I like to make something, maybe 2 things, but I don't like to make a lot. Even if I've put out a lot of things, I just want stuff that I can just make it easy and make it look good. So buying things like that is a
Pre-made,
great way
yeah.
to just make it easy. Whether
Make it
it's
easy.
chips, hummus, chips and guac, whatever it is.
I love that.
This
And
is
pre-made
so
hummus tray. You got the pita chips. All things you can just buy quick.
Absolutely.
I love it. We have your recipe. We're going to share it on Care11.com.
Perfect.
Thanks for sharing with us. Kowalski's is the best. Rachel
So
Perrin.
good.
Come anytime. I'm going to keep eating. John's incredibly jealous.
He'll be back
He's
in
in
here
the-
I
eventually.
already ate one.
He's running out in the cold
Well,
right
I
now.
had to build it longer. Thought it was just a 7-day forecast.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna keep eating. You do you.
All
you
right.
do you, boo.